Hello. So I've come back from my hiatus, and I want to show you guys this old base of mine in Factorio because of the new Space Age update, and essentially I won't be able to expand in the world anymore because I'm not allowed to get the space age technology because the world has been made before Factorio 2.0, which is essentially the space age part of the game. So I have to start a new world to continue playing if I want to expand the space age, essentially. So I did record a little bit before, but this is my second recording. And I just wanted to show you guys how long I've been playing. So I started Factorio 8 years ago, and I started this world, the one I'm going to show you guys, 5 years ago. And you can see when I started, 0.16.51. And I may get a few of the facts wrong about my base because of just, how long it was. I have been playing this save on and off for many years, and I know how my base works, but just a lot of the stuff coming back to me is going to take a while. Now I may not be explaining all of this correctly, but I kind of want to explain my base so that I can just look back on this and then start a new world. Because might as well explain everything I've done as a response to Exterminator's review of my base. And then we'll show you guys the base. So this is the base. First off, before I even begin to show you anything, here's some cool facts. My playtime is around 2,384 hours. We're on mining productivity 178. You can see that. Our signs per minute's pretty low, but that's because of the new update and the way rockets work now. So if we go into our power, 4 gigawatts, I guess, right now. And we're making 15.4. We're storing 379 gigajoules into 75,000 accumulators. And the most of our production right now is 12.5 gigawatts in our steam turbines from the nuclear power plants. And we have kind of a small amount, 2.4 gigawatts in solar panels. 89,000 solar panels. We're satisfied because our production's good. Everything's good. So, yeah. And, we're using 9.1 gigawatts just for 19,000 beacons. We're using 1.5 gigawatts for 3.5 thousand electric furnaces, and 3.9 thousand assembly machines using 1.6 gigawatts, 4.7 thousand roboports is using 1.1 gigawatts, and the entire base is lined with, our bases are lined with 16,000 laser turrets consuming at most half gigawatt. Now, I guess I should start explaining everything from left to right, just to kind of pay respects to this base before I start a new base. And I'll kind of come back to different parts of the base, just because it's kind of really hard to explain everything in order because of how complex it can be. So we'll just start with our nuclear reactors. So this is actually from a really old design from someone who was showing a nuclear reactor on YouTube, and I just wanted to copy it and use it for my base because of how expansive it was, or it got to be. And I took it, I stamped it down 4 times, and I wish I could tell you the amount it generates. I think it's like I'm not sure if it's like 2.4 for each. Essentially, I think if you look at the production, 16 divided by 4 is 4, so maybe each one of these makes 4 gigawatts, right? But we're also adding 14, so it's 14 really, actually. We're adding the solar panels. So 14 divided by 4, what was that? Like 3.5. That's going to give us how much one of these make. Yeah. Whatever. So anyways, let's talk about nuclear. So, all the way over here, this is where we mine nuclear, and we use sulfuric acid. We train that in. Sulfuric acid is actually made all the way over here. And then it's also piped all the way to here, into these barrels, and also fill up a train that's over here. Somewhere, and it all gets moved over here to be able to mine this nuclear patch we got. Uranium ore. And then there's iron ores, there's some more outposts, but I had to fill this up. I had to increase the capacity because I had to keep making these outposts, and they took forever, and it just got more annoying. I just wanted to expand the base, not making all these outposts everywhere. So nuclear gets picked up by robots, and then it gets dropped off over here. The ore gets split into 238 and 235. The 238 comes over here, and then it with 235 has a chance of making 235 and 238 again. But it has a slim chance of making 235, so we kind of store that separately and store the 238 separately. But it also comes over here to be used to make the uranium fuel cells that are actually made over here. Well, fuel cells are made throughout, like down here. This is where they get made. Then the robots bring them over here. Then with the Logistic Networks, I'll show you that. The train picks them up and moves it to another Logistic Network over here. I guess I will now explain the whole networks. So this is one right here. This is one giant one for our base. There's 2 over here. There's 1 here. And there's another here. That's for plastic production. And this is rocket fuel. There's some scattered out for the farlands, or as I like to call them, the outposts. There's another outpost over here just for copper. And then there's this entire section just for low density structures. And then for our Gigafactory, we have a ring surrounding the hexagon, so that we can stamp this kind of base up top, to the right, and all around it, and make it a modular hexagon base. That'll be for the space age when we get there. To the next save. And then continuing on, we have a logistic network for every science pack. And even where we process the science in stone over there. So, yeah. That's how that works. So that explains all nuclear. And I guess we can go back into more power. So over here is where we have solar and accumulators for backup power. And then this electric network is only attached to certain areas so that if power ever goes out, which as we can see it does not, we can always bring it back up online if that needs to be the case. And right beside our backup power, we used to have, in the older version of Factorio before 2.0, and I believe in 1.2, there was a space age title, and I'm trying to get space age to work, but this is a separate thing over here. Back in the day, you used to be able to make rocket control units, and they were made with blue circuits and the first speed module. And so I had a whole section to make them over here and also over here. And with the new Factorio 2.0, they just removed the recipe, I guess, because now you can't make them anymore. And I guess that leads me to the rocket over here. So if we were to go to launch this rocket right now, it's going to take a while. With the Factorio 2.0 update, there's this new thing called the cargo landing pad. So if this rocket launches, you'll see that in just a moment we will be getting 1K science pack delivered to us from space. See? So we started with 10K and now we're at 11K. So that's a new thing that they've added, and that could be why our science isn't working. That could be why. Guess I should explain over here now. So as you can see, these red lights are going faster. Well, I guess they're continuing their same speed because these lamps are off and they're not consuming power. Anyways, the way this works is that during nighttime, there's not going to be any power stored in this because during nighttime there's not going to be any light charging up these solar panels to charge up this accumulator. So when that happens, these lights are going to turn on, and when that accumulator is out of power, we know it's at nighttime because these lights are on. So these lights are going to come back on when it's daytime. These lights don't need to be on anymore. This accumulator is going to charge up, and then now look at the lights are going faster and faster until they slow down and they turn off. Or I hope I'm explaining that right, but that's just one of the circuits we have here. The same thing happens over here, except this is always on, I think. Wow, that's a lot of rockets going. And then over here we have the lamps. It's created by Alex, who I will get to in a second. But he was actually helping me with this is like reading the copper and iron belts over here and determining how full they are. He also saw this Aperture Science logo from Portal 2 or Portal 1, and then he added this, and he also added this. Yeah, his username is Quick, but this is like a alarm garage system. I guess I should explain about all the other cool things here. So from Nilaus, this is the Lawrence intersection. So in case I want to expand, but because we're doing a space age world now, there's not really a point to expanding anymore. So if I wanted to, I can destroy those biters, and that would mean sending this artillery trains down all the way over there just to launch and kill these biters off. But I don't need to do that because we're not playing on this world anymore because of technologies. They're not going to be able to expand due to the update. And then I'm not going to be playing any of these songs. You can always go into the description, download this world into Factorio, and then play them yourselves, just because I don't want to have copyright. Now, if we look over here, actually, I will explain. So this is my call it the base inside of the base. This is my mall. This is where I spend my time if I want to AFK. I can go in any of these belts, and if you were to accidentally blow up this part of the base, you kind of wouldn't be safe because there's nuclear reactors here. But that's a good thing because in case this base ever runs out of power, we can power them back up. We have blueprints here. Oops, there's some there. Now, if we get into the packs, I'll show you the science Gigafactory base on the other side of the map. Now, the packs is the player access, and so I'll just take us over there as we explore the rest of this. We pipe in green and red circuit trains from over here. So this is where we make them. There's some more right here. So we also have added more stops for the trains to back up in if they need to do that. Now going through this, we have, where plastic and coal plastic's being made and the coal is being dropped off there. Crude oil is being backed up over there. We go through the gate, and then this is just a long drive to Gigafactory right here. This is kind of the storage, central hub storage. And essentially this is tied to that. And we're also making more green circuits that are going around to be picked up by the robots and used to making the blue circuits that are also using the green and the red circuits from over here to be sent off into, I believe it's yellow science. So this is where that one of those trains go to pick it up. We're passing by the low density structure area over here. And then all of this is not a logistic network because this is separate over here. Because this is its own solar power grid just to power the base and not have as much UPS drop. So over here we can start with the stress test, but I'm not so sure. It's probably not going to work. We can already see right now this is. Let's look at this. So we're making 1K purple science. Oh, 13, now 1.4K. Blue science. Okay, yeah, 8.3K. So about 1K per minute. If we turn this on, and increase, we can request from all the science packs. And hopefully, yeah, there we go. So the green science is now going to kick in because we're requesting all the green, so that we can see how much it's making now. So not a lot, but it's something. So, but I have tested all these out. These, 10K, 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 this is all tested out beforehand. It's just because of the way we don't have enough trains coming in, or the base needs more resources, or one part of the base doesn't have enough. Sometimes there's a overflow or underflow or whatever, but these they can definitely reach like 13K. I'm not lying when I say that. I wish I could process these fast enough, but we don't. We can't. There's not enough space, really. I mean, I can do over here, but I kind of want to keep that. That just leads to not producing enough science per minute consistently. So, I mean, I tried. Yeah, I tried. So, we go over here. This is where we're making iron. Iron's being piped in by 3-8 trains, and how do I explain that? 3 locomotives, 8 artillery wagons, and then 3 more locomotives, and we're also running 1 4s, 1 locomotive, 4 wagons, but the most common train is 3 8s. We're processing, I'm not sure how much we're making. So we're consuming 1.7 thousand per minute. So if we just, our future prospects probably we want to consume as much as we're producing. That could be a thing. But because of the limited space, and because I refuse to expand, we're not going to. Not until we have a new world. Yeah. Over here, we have backup of blue circuits if we ever needed to do that. And that's just, batteries over here, sulfuric acid, more of that. Science, this is like a starter base, so the trickle, the science is over there. And then this is where we have copper and iron being piped in by trains. This is how many materials we have in the base. This is a visual graph of the power, and then this is a second battery display to show how much power that we have being produced to sustain the base. And I guess this is called the hub, and then over here called this Gigafactory. I guess that's about it. I mean, this is pretty much all there is to it. You can see I have my channel and name up there. More copper ore, 2 copper plate. I guess I should explain this as well. This is my last thing I should probably explain. So, from the outposts around the world, we bring in a 3-8 train of either whatever ore it is, so copper ore here, iron ore here. Now, all of that is always being ran in until we smelt it all down and convert it into copper plates that are stored in these steel chests so that we can instantly fill up a 3/8 of copper plate train, because that will store a lot more than the ore can, right? You can fit more plates in than you can ore. And do the same thing with iron. The iron is actually moved over here to fill the steel trains, and then they all go over here to the low density structures, and this is constantly being made to be sent out to the white science. As you can see, we have low density structures being used here. And yeah, this is just constantly doing this to launch a rocket, but it's not, because of the update, we don't have enough blue circuits coming in, I guess, because they're now requesting that. I guess I'll have to make a new part of the building to pipe in blue circuits. Over here, this is kind of the only way I can figure out how to fit in steel over here. So all this is just really for this. Exterminator was right. And yeah. Oh yeah. And these the naming schemes. So I kind of like to abbreviate. So like this is yellow science, low density structures, unload. This is blue science, iron plate 4, 2, 1, and 3. Blue science, steel 1. Blue science, steel 2. Purple science, iron plate 1 and 2. And then there's just some, it's just kind of like that for everything. Green science, iron plate 1. And then green science load. So, and then they're all piped over here. And, yeah. But, we can see how long this will take. So, 15 minutes to complete mining productivity 178. Not too bad. Not too bad. Pretty much it. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. thank you for watching. Enjoy. Look in the description for the world, and yeah, enjoy Factorio and Factorio Space Age.